comedy, The War with Grandpa.
Well, she's one of our favorites. She's joining us now from her home in Malibu. Hi,
Hello,
Jane.
Jane, you look absolutely beautiful. I just gotta say, as usual.
I ditto on that one. Okay, the bump in. Let's begin there with whatever's going on that trampoline. Tell us about the sweatsuits, what went on in between takes. We need to know everything.
Okay, well, first of all, you have 4 people well over the age of 60, none of whom are going to admit to having any ailments, right? So we're all lying. And then we get on the bumpy thing and we're going, look at one another like, who's going to be the first on a stretcher being taken out? Pete already knew that he had a bad knee and was going to have it replaced afterwards. But we were all kind of taking bets on which one of us is it going to be. But it was so much fun. And of course, I've never really thrown much overhand ever. And I've certainly never been on dodgeball doesn't exist in England. And we had a lot of fun. And then, of course, we were sitting between takes. And you can imagine those 3 guys and the anecdotes, you know, you worked with her, you know, you did this, you did that. Oh, my gosh, they should have filmed that. That was hilarious.
I bet. I mean, Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, Cheech Marin, and yourself. Why are we at war with Grandpa? What did De Niro do?
De Niro does not know how to self-check out and gets very frustrated at a Fry's, at a store, and he can't figure out what to do self-checking out with his credit card. So he just goes, done it, goes out, gets arrested, gets into a big fight. I mean, I don't want to give away the whole story, but basically the parents, his daughter, Uma Thurman, decides he has to come and move in. And of course, to move in with the family requires that the 10-year-old son has to be moved to the attic. And he is really pissed off about this, tells his friends at school, and they all say, hey, it's war. You just got to drive your grandfather out of this house. And so he declares war. And then, of course, the grandfather needs somebody to fight with him. And the denouement, the final decision will be made with this dodgeball thing. And so he asks me, I'm a teller, I'm a person at Fry's, who's supposed to be helping him learn how to self-check out. And he comes to me and says, hey, can you help me out? And I go, yep, I'm in. So I'm a sort of, they leave it open that we might have a relationship. We kind of go on a date. Yeah.
Of course.
And Jane, is it true when you were shooting at Fry's that actually somebody thought you really worked there? You don't look like you work there.
Many people.
What?
So, I was a little nervous working with Mr. De Niro, and he's a pretty private guy. So I said hello politely, sat there and thought, well, maybe I'll walk around a bit. I did. People came up to me and said, excuse me, I need to return this, and this doesn't work, and where do I find this? And, can I get my money back? And I've been waiting. No one's helping me. And then the AD came over and said, excuse me, Jane, we need you on set. And these people look at me like, what? No, she's taking care of my business. So I had to get an assistant manager to take over from my clients.
Right. Well,
that's when I knew how to play the part.
Yeah, very authentic in the role. I just realized, Jane, that De Niro and Christopher Walken working together in this movie. I love The Deer Hunter back in the day, which was, I believe, like 40 years ago or so. I don't believe they've worked together since then, correct? Is this the first time since then?
I think so. I think this was the reunion. Yes. Wow. So that was very interesting. That was a long time ago. And of course, he played my husband in Wedding Crashers.
Oh, that's right.
And Cheech for life. I've known Cheech because he lived here in Malibu. So I kind of knew him in passing. I didn't really know him, but now I know him a lot better.
You and Walken in Wedding Crashers. Do people still want to quote that for you, Jane? Do you still want to get a little kitty cat?
Yeah, I get people, they stop me and say, do it, do it. And I go, call me cat, call me kitty cat. And then I'm allowed to go on. It's like either that or they just come right up to me and go, motorboat, motorboat. And I just go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I know
it is hilarious. My entire career has come down to that.
Come down to that.
I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. From the age of 13 to nearly 70, that's it. I will forever be known for kitty cat.
Hey, that's not a bad thing, by the way. That's not a bad thing at all. Jane, I know that Christopher Walken loves to dance himself. He loves to fancy himself a little dancer. And then you yourself, I remember you were on Dancing with the Stars. Right there, it was perhaps like...
And you too.
That's true. That's true, yes. Right? So no dancing in this film?
Didn't you win? And well, anyway,
he won.
Yes, I like to dance a little bit. And that's why I think both Christopher Walken and I thought we could do some dance moves on the trampoline. And at the end, I think I have footage of it somewhere of me doing sort of ballet kind of things. But we had a lot of fun on that. And dance is in my soul. That's my favorite thing.
Awesome.
Well, Jane, sit tight right there. When we come back, we have to talk some about your greatest post on Instagram, that great bathing suit shot. More with Jane when we come up next.
Get this straight. You want me to help you and your buddies to help beat up your grandson and his buddies because the two of you can't figure out some way to live in the same house?
Well, when you put it like that.
I'm in.
We are back with the incredible Jane Seymour, who's starring in the new movie, The War with Grandpa. And Jane, how are all your grandkids doing?
Oh, they're amazing. I get to see 3 of them, pretty much all the time. In fact, the 2 you see there, the one on one side, the little one is Luna Wild, and the other one is Willa Mighty. Those are their actual names. And they are spending quite a lot of time with me now since COVID, which is fantastic. I'm loving every minute.
Sensational names.
It is.
Strong names for them. I love it.
Jane, you posted.
Well, they've started writing a book about Wild and Mighty, sort of a female empowerment thing. So I'm actually excited about them. They are now becoming little authors at 4 and 7.
Oh,
That's awesome.
You posted this amazing photo of yourself for National Encouragement Day. Why was that important for you? Oh, yeah. Looking tremendous.
I mean, come on, Jane.
You know what? People are obsessed about diets and exercise and this and that. And I just eat healthy food that I happen to grow in the garden. And I was there and I just thought, if you don't have a gym and if you can just go up and down the stairs, and I just wanted to encourage people. I mean, a lot of people give up when they have a baby or when they're 40. They just say, oh, I had babies. That's why I'm not fit anymore. But I realized that I will be 70 in February, and wow. I'm the same weight that I was when I was 15, 16, 17, when I was a dancer. So incredible? It's possible without trying terribly hard.
And put back up, I was looking this way because the Baywatch picture, I love the red bathing suit. And then, Jane, I love that you had your children in your 40s. What do you remember most about that time? Or you had your twins?
It almost killed me. And then, of course, raising them. That's fun, too. No, what do I remember? I think probably the craziest thing on the planet is to decide to get pregnant and have twins at that age while starring in a Western outdoors, working 18 hours a day. That was complete insanity. But you know what? I would never have done anything different. Those boys are fantastic. And I'm just so thrilled, so lucky.
Oh, that's so cool to hear. Jane, Roger Moore is my favorite James Bond of all time. So I've seen all those movies. And you, of course, are a former Bond girl for Live and Let Die. But you revealed on a podcast recently that you thought that the role couldn't be, or the movie itself couldn't be made today, or the role itself was wrong? Something along those lines?
No, I mean, it was the book, right? But in that era, there was, different sensitivities to different things. And I was supposed to be, I think, Haitian or a person of color. No one told me, and I hadn't read the book. So, there was a little backlash about that. But people's sensibilities toward things are different. There are certain things you just don't do in movies now. And I think, some of the things that are in that movie probably wouldn't happen today.
How was Roger? I just need to know. How was Roger Moore?
Oh, he was great, except he did one horrible, horrible, horrible thing to me.
What's that?
He decided, because at lunchtime, we always used to come to these big trestle tables, and I'd come, put my tray down. I loved it because I got to talk to everyone. And he said to everyone, all the rest of the people that were at that table, said, look, when Jane comes with her tray, we all get up at once and move away somewhere else, anywhere, and just leave her alone. And he did. And I was devastated, absolutely devastated. There was no explanation afterwards, oh, we were just, messing with you, nothing. I was crying. I was devastated. I was just like, what have I done? What have I done? And he wrote about it in his autobiography. And I flipped to, you know, the bit about me, and I saw there it was. So before he passed away, I actually spent a good 45 minutes alone with Roger. And I said, Roger, I noticed that you realized you did a prank and you realized that it really hurt my feelings. I said, thank you for saying that, because it did. And, but oh my God, I was such an innocent little 20-year-old and far too sensitive.
Oh, but I love that he admitted it and kind of apologized. Like that's, yeah, trying to be funny. Oh, that's great.
Such
Jane.
great stories. So it was so great catching up with you, Jane.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on everything. We can't wait to see the movie. The War with Grandpa is in theaters on October 9th.